Environmental pollution has been considered one of the biggest problems that Hong Kong has been trying to tackle for the last decade. According to the Environmental Protection Department, there was a surge in the number of high pollution days in Hong Kong last year as compared to 2016. The EPD reported a total of 44 days where the Air Quality Health Index reached high, very high, or serious levels in 2017, compared with a total of 26 days in 2016. This shows that the air pollution in Hong Kong has gotten worse as of present. In addition, last year at the World Air Quality Index, PM2.5 levels have been in excess of 100 for several days running. The annual standard safe level for PM2.5 is at 15. Thus, even though the EPD mostly forecasted the level of air pollution to be low to medium throughout 2017, the amount of PM2.5, arguably the most deadly pollutant, exceeded safe levels by a large margin. This emphasizes that the environmental pollution in Hong Kong remains to be very severe. It is claimed by the EPD that one of the largest contributors to the environmental pollution in Hong Kong is the transport sector, including road transports. The sector was a major source of nitrogen oxides, volatile organic compounds, and carbon monoxide, accounting for 18%, 18%, and 51% of the total emissions in 2015, respectively. These are all pollutants that have greatly contributed to intensifying environmental pollution. To help improve roadside air quality and reduce carbon emissions, thereby resolving the pollution problem that Hong Kong has been facing, the government has implemented the Hong Kong Climate Action Plan 2030+. This action plan was inspired by the Paris Agreement in 2015, as climate change and environmental pollution is not only a local concern but a global one as well. The action plan sets out Hong Kong's new carbon emissions reduction target for 2030 and the concerted plans for meeting it. Some targets include encouraging more use of green public transportation. The action plan will aim to reward us with a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable environment through reducing roadside emissions. With green transports playing a crucial role in the implemented action plan to reducing roadside emissions, the following video will focus on a relatively less common mode of transport in Hong Kong: tram. The Hong Kong Tramways is a tram system in Hong Kong and one of the earliest forms of public transport in the metropolis. Since April 2010, the Hong Kong Tramway has been owned by RATP Dev, Transdev Asia, an Asian joint venture between two French leading operators of public transport, RATP Dev and Transdev. The system is also under the Tramway Ordinance, in which the government has included policies and regulations monitoring the construction, maintenance, and route of tramway. In addition, according to Sections 25 and 33 of the Tramway Ordinance, Electrical and Mechanical Services Department can regulate Hong Kong tramways by carrying out regular inspections on its tramcars and electrical and mechanical components of its system to ensure public safety. These ordinances and regulations help to ensure the service and quality of this mode of transport and meet the high expectations of Hong Kong population. Tram holds a special place in the heart of Hong Kong citizens and is considered a city landmark, classified among the legendary tramways by National Geographic. Throughout the last century, the tram has not only become a precious heritage, but it also holds significant cultural values, as the Ding Ding is an icon of the city. Hong Kong Tramway also serves to be a major tourist attraction. Several international tourism-related websites, such as TripAdvisor, Time Out Magazine, and etc., have recommended the Ding Ding as a must-do activity if tourists visit Hong Kong. Tourism can be seen as a pathway that can help promote the aforementioned cultural values and significance of the tramway between local and visiting foreigners. This allows cultural globalization to be facilitated among Hong Kong and foreign countries.
同學，你知唔知咩係 green transport 咧？同埋你覺得電車係咪一種 green transport？
我知地啦，我唔知我知嗰個 green transport 係咪真係 green transport 啦，但我估係一啲好即係對環境冇乜破壞嘅一啲嘅交通，係一啲零排放嗰啲電車，我覺得某程度上算係 green transport。
Next, I would like to explain how trams reduce pollution. As mentioned previously in our introduction, the main source of air pollution is the roadside emission of pollutants from diesel-operated vehicles. Hong Kong tram system has never used steam power to operate, but relies solely on electricity. It can therefore be considered the greenest mode of public transport in Hong Kong. Most importantly, it emits zero roadside emission, meaning that it does not emit pollutants to worsen the air quality. Hence, we can see that trams could strongly contribute to alleviating air pollution. There are many public transport in Hong Kong that can help alleviate the environmental pollution problem as well. So why are we recommending tram? This is because there are studies conducted by other countries indicating that tram is more efficient in reducing pollution than other green transports.
咁你覺得電車相比其他嘅交通工具啦，例如好似小巴或者巴士咁咯，邊個會環保啲呢？
我覺得電車應該會環保啲嘅，因為首先巴士同埋小巴就佢哋就用到一啲燃料啦，同埋電車佢相比小巴嗰啲咧就可以容納到多啲人啦，咁所以佢一段距離咧就可以帶多啲人去啦，咁同埋電車係零排放嘅，係啦，咁所以就電車就應該環保。
According to a study conducted by the Carbone 4 team in France, tramways emit 30% less CO2 than a BRT bus rapid transit system operated with hybrid buses, and 50% less CO2 than a BRT system operated with diesel buses. In another study conducted by Team Moreno et al. In Barcelona, with regard to ambient concentrations of fine particulate matter, the following figure shows that PM 2.5 concentration is relatively lower in tram compared to bus and metro. The results suggest that commuting using the tram appears to be consistently the cleanest form of city public transport when compared to both bus and subway. Both studies highlight trams to potentially be the better green transportation system than other modes of green transport in terms of reducing pollutants to the environment. Hence, we can suggest that trams in Hong Kong can have similar positive impact to the local environment.
咁你覺得電車係咪中環塞車嘅其中一個主要成因呢？
我覺得中環塞車嘅成因有好多，就唔可以完全歸咎於係電車方面啦。因為畢竟中環比較細啦，同埋比較密集啦，唔似其他地方咁樣，所以容易塞車啦。可能啲人話電車行得慢，或者係壓位，但係其實行完架電車之後，嗰條路依然都係開放俾其他車俾佢哋行嘅啦，唔似好似大西北嗰邊嘅輕鐵咁樣啦，成條路軌起咗之後，架輕鐵行完之後，其他車其實唔用得嘅，即係完全係好似丟空咗個位置咁樣，唔係咯。其實電車條路軌，即使電車行完之後，都係用得着，所以其實唔可以歸咎於電車係交通擠塞嘅成因。
Lastly, I would like to discuss why tram should be a mainstay mode of green transport in Hong Kong. In 2015, former local town planner Sit Kwok Keung has submitted an application to do away with trams between the downtown districts of Central and Wan Chai on Hong Kong Island due to traffic congestion concerns. The reason of having such concern is that the track of tramway occupies some of the road space. The development of the tramway has begun by a century ago, and most of the track were laid in the middle of the road used by cars, which limits the lane of road in each direction. As a result, such road design cannot handle the increasing traffic and cause traffic congestion. Since the road transport, particularly private cars, continue to move at a much slower speed during the congestion, it leads to prolonged emission of pollutants to the environment. This is definitely not going to help minimize the pollution problem, is it? With the tramway potentially being the cause of traffic congestion, should we remove trams? While the population of Hong Kong is gradually increasing, so is the use of private vehicles. In fact, the Transport Advisory Committee reported that over the past 10 years, the number of private cars increased by about 40%. In contrast, the number of trams has only increased at most 6%, around 7 times less than the increase in private cars. In contrast, the number of trams has only increased from 164 to 169, about 3%, 10 times less than the increase in private cars. In addition, according to the Public Transport Strategy Study conducted in the end of 2014, tram users only account for around 1.4% of public transport patronage. From the figure, we can also see that most Hong Kong citizens would prefer to take other public transports, such as the light buses and buses rather than trams. Both light buses and buses will still emit pollutants, though very little due to the replacement of diesel with liquefied petroleum gas, as well as phasing out of pre-Euro 4 diesel commercial vehicles. With the increase in use of private vehicles, buses and light buses, roadside emission of pollutants will only continue to persist. On the other hand, trams will always emit zero road pollutants. If trams are removed from Hong Kong, how are we supposed to save the environment when the zero roadside emission feature of trams can play a crucial part in significantly reducing pollution? In order to reduce pollution, removing tram is not the solution. In fact, we should resolve the issue through encouraging the Hong Kong population to take more public transport and less private vehicles. This would also help resolving the traffic congestion issue. As reflected in a public opinion survey, the excess number of cars is culpable for the competing use of limited road space, subsequently leading to traffic congestion. Furthermore, Friends of the Earth gives other statistics showing that the tram does not cause the traffic jam and even helps to solve the traffic problems. When looking back to the traffic efficiency, which is about the proportion of the space using the road and the passenger capacity, we saw that trams has the same efficiency with buses as they carry 3.9 people per meter long car body. Compared to private cars, which can only carry 0.4 people per meter long car body, tram can help to solve the problem of traffic jam since it can carry the passengers efficiently. Therefore, removing trams cannot solve the traffic problem and will worsen the problem instead. In conclusion, through its zero roadside emission feature, trams can potentially have a significant impact in reducing environmental pollution. It is also suggested by several research studies to be more environmentally friendly than other types of green transport, particularly buses. This is evidenced with the finding that it emits less carbon dioxide and fine particulate matter than buses. Furthermore, removing tram will not only fail to solve the traffic congestion issue in Hong Kong, which does contribute to air pollution, but will also lose the chance to significantly reduce air pollution in Hong Kong.